On today's episode of My Home Garage, we find out why these wipers don't work. So let me just turn on the wiper and show you what happens. The wipers just go to the center and they just stop. So the only way to get to come back down is to push them down. Okay. So something's seizing them up. Something's wrong with the motor. So we're going to remove this area and take a look. Okay, so the first step in removing the wiper motor is remove these caps. There's a little tab. You just pry up. Set your parts aside. Okay, so a 16mm wrench. Loosen these off. Hold the wiper as you loosen. Okay. Take your nuts off. 1, 2. So just keep working it, banging it until you get it to a point where it's loose, like so. There's one. As you can see, it's tapered from thin to wide, and that's how it squeezes on. Tighten it. Same thing with this side. We're gonna all right, so for me to remove this, I had the hood down. I pried this in like this one under the actual wiper motor, and I just popped it up. But be careful, pry away from the windshield, and make sure you have plastic here so you don't damage the windshield. And it popped itself out. So here we are. Both wipers are out. So now our next step, we can remove the cowl, I think. There's a tab here that holds this in. You can see that there. This tab, so we got to slide this off, that clip. And make sure we get that clip back. And there is our clip. There's one clip. Let's check on the other side. What do we got holding this? So let's remove this. So the cabin filter. There's our other clip right there. See that? Just pull that out. There's our other clip. Put it down. Anything else holding this in place? Anything else holding this? No. I don't know. Pry it up. And just keep prying up. Okay. There we go. Pretty much just locks inside of here. Okay. So here's our wiper motor assembly. And our problem probably lies somewhere in this mechanism. So right now I'm going to activate it and let's see what happens. As you can see, it wants to start moving. You hear it wanting to start moving and absolutely nothing happens. So something is jamming up. These are our mechanisms. So here's our driver. Here's our motor right here. So this motor turns this piece here, which drives both. So what we can do is, we gotta get this, we need to remove this cover. So now we're gonna remove the ECU cover, which is a T30. our ECU. Alright, so is this ECU in the way of removing this? Some people say yes, it is. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 bolts holding this in place. So they look like 10mm bolts. Number 1. 2. Alright, so to remove this, we need to, well, we got a couple clips that are attached. Well, here's something, whatever this is. Alright, we'll leave that there. These caps go over that. Okay, don't lose those. So, we have a little, just a clip that holds a wiring harness, and it's on the electric wiper motor bracket, which we just broke, but whatever, we'll figure it out after. Alright, so, to remove this wiper motor, we also have this. So, it's just a clip. Okay, it's out as well. Okay. Alright, so let's try and remove these 10 mils here. So it's 1, what is this? 2 10 mils. Battery. Alright. So put this back in its cage right here. Okay. And we'll move these 8 mils. Okay, first things first, there's a little tiny hose that I think is just a breather hose for the battery. We'll just disconnect the hose there, because there's one bolt right here which looks like a 10 mil to me. Get yourself something tiny like this. Get in there and loosen up that 10 mil. Until it comes out. Let's just see if this works. Hold on. Okay, you don't need to remove the wiper motor. You just remove that. Now that we removed this one arm, let's see if the wiper motor wants to move now. Still doesn't want to move. So let's move the second part of this. Okay. Okay. This burns off. Okay. All of the bars are off. So now all we have to move is this. Let's see if it moves. So now I'm going to try to take off the ECU mounting bracket. And I believe maybe this is our restriction here. So take this off. There's one. Okay. And there's one more that's tucked up right there. It's a 10 mil. So you can get a 10 mil in here and loosen it up. Alright. That one's out. Is there anything left holding this ECU in? I believe not. Okay. Now you just gotta make sure that this harness here, which is like, comes from the battery, that it doesn't get hung up on anything. And you can remove this bracketry out of the way. As you can see, this wire harness right here, oh, it's there. Okay. So when you remove this, just be careful with it. There's harnesses connected to it everywhere. I don't even know which way I should put this thing in. These connectors right here, so I think the best for us right now is to just disconnect the battery. So let's disconnect the battery so we don't ruin anything. There. Now we should be okay to work. We'd have to remove these connectors. So 1 connector, 2 connectors, 3 connectors, and a 10 mil power supply. So we're just going to disconnect that now. Okay, so now that is also disconnected. So now we have nothing connected. Our harness is free from our car. So we should be able to remove it, or just move it out of the way like so. Now our harness is out of the way. This is what you disconnected. Right here, 10 millimeter, 3 connectors down in here. There is a seal here, prevent water from entering. So make sure you clean all this up before you do anything else. So that's what I'm gonna do right now before I even remove. Well, actually, now we can remove this. I'm assuming, if nothing else is stopping me from removing this wiper motor now. Or is there? There's still more. What could possibly be preventing me from removing this wiper motor now? Alright. What's preventing me? Alright, there we go. Oh, there she goes. Okay, so there's our motor. We can disconnect it right now because what we need to work on is the linkage. So careful with your paint. Get rid of that. Our wiper motor is out. Now that our wiper motor is out, let's tidy that up. So now that's clean. Okay, so this is completely seized inside here. As you can see, this linkage moves freely. That's what we want. You are able to replace this linkage, it looks like. All right, folks, so we do have a replacement unit for this wiper motor. We're going to be replacing this entire transmission assembly because it's all damaged. So pretty much the first thing we're going to do is take everything off. Just make sure that when you remove the motor, it is in the parked position so that when you reinstall everything, it's in the same position. So you're going to need to remove the 13 millimeter for the wiper arm. You will not be reusing this section. So it's good to have an impact like that. This should just come off. Of course it won't. Everything on this car is designed. There we go. Okay. Now we can remove this assembly, which will give us access to the motor. Pretty sure it's a T30. So, same idea. Okay. All right. So this is what we're replacing. As you can see, this should all move in unison together. And ours is seized. So we'll be removing this one. Be very careful. Okay, there it is. It only goes on one way, it looks like. Looks like it only goes on one way. Slides on like so. Okay. Same idea. Our bracket goes back on. Like so. Okay. So we want to put this in the same exact position we were in. So just rotate this over, and this goes on like so. Problem is, we cannot tighten this. We can't tighten this when it's on like this because the nut is blocked. So what you can do is same thing. So look at it again. Put it on like so. Just lightly. Do not tighten it down. Put it in the correct position. Just like this. All right. 13 millimeter. Okay. Okay. Once you have it straight, like so, tighten up your nut. Now you can move the motor. Tight. Push it back. And there you go. This is how you're going to install it. Okay, so now we're going to head over and install this back on the vehicle. Clean up your arm. Don't tighten it all the way until you're happy with the positioning. Okay. Okay. Let's test them out. Okay, I would say that this is a successful install. So now we can really get these nice and tight. Good. Put our caps on. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode of My Home Garage where we fixed the wipers on the A4 And it seems like this is a very common problem on the internet and the forums, people complaining about seized wiper linkages, and people have been taking them out and lubing them up. But honestly, it cost me 45 Canadian, which is like, what, $30 American for that wiper transmission linkage. So I mean, there's no point in removing all of this stuff just so you have to go back in again. Alright guys, so have a nice day.